right, Victorum Gaming fans and SPQR fans, we're back. We got another video for you guys today. We're continuing our series covering the different hero talents, and today we're going to look at Natural Hero. This is a pretty simple tech tree. It's got 4 abilities, and it's basically just a straight line through. So if you want to get everything, you basically just have a very simple path toward that. And a lot of these abilities really build off the previous abilities. So in that sense, it does actually make sense. These are all passive abilities with no requirement except for the last one, Die Harder, which interestingly is one of those where it's actually passive, which normally don't have requirements, but this one does have a prereq and bravery of +4 or higher. So that's certainly a solid investment in bravery and something to keep in mind there. So Natural Hero, what does that really imply here? So this hero is unshakable in his beliefs or simply knows no fear. He may possibly be touched in the head. However, his example of grace in battle is infectious and can steady allies who might otherwise flee. So this is a little bit of a leadership-based one, but then also goes off in some different directions and basically makes your hero sort of harder to actually get killed. So Inspire is always worth looking at. Just again, it's the first ability, doesn't require anything. So having fought with allies through thick and thin and saved their lives many times, the mere presence of this hero is a great boost to morale. Every friendly unit within 12 may reroll all will to fight checks. So certainly just a strong ability there. And I like that this one's a 12-inch bubble as opposed to the 6-inch on some of the other abilities. So certainly not a bad one to look at and easy to get since it's the first ability. Heroic Rush goes off in a little bit of a different direction. So a true hero, he's able to perform acts that no mortal would normally consider, flanking enemies alone or finishing off a particularly tough rival. Once per battle, the hero may take 3 actions instead of 2. So again, lots and lots of the special characters have this ability, and basically it's your own personal horn where like minion units get to do 3 actions once per game. This is that, but in a hero format. So another great one to consider. Sometimes you just need that extra action, whether it's to put more distance between yourself and enemies, get to an objective, or just get that extra round of combat in and start killing more enemies. So this one is another really stupidly good one that you should always consider as well. And really no downsides to going with that. Then the last 2 are basically interlinked here. So you got Die Hard and Die Harder. So we start off with Die Hard. The hero is an ornery brute and refuses to die. If the hero is reduced to 0 wounds, make a bravery check immediately. If it's failed, you remove him as normal. If successful, the hero immediately regains 1 wound and may continue fighting. The hero must continue to make successful bravery checks at the start of each of his phases in order to continue fighting. Failure will result in him being removed from the table as a casualty. If the hero suffers more damage and loses another wound while benefiting from Die Hard, automatically removed from the table as a casualty. So basically, it gives your hero sort of an extra ablative wound in the sense that you can essentially come back from the dead. Again, you do have to pass that bravery check and keep passing bravery checks. But if you've gotten your bravery stat to something like either at least +3, and certainly with +4, where you're basically rolling on 2+, that's another great one to maybe pick up. Just knowing that you have the chance to come back, and anytime that happens, that means your opponent has to spend more time dealing with that hero. And if you got a really nasty hero who's who can put out some solid damage, that can be a really frustrating move for the opponent. And certainly being able to get your hero back up and maybe last minute race to an objective or something like that, or otherwise follow your opponent's plans. Again, another interesting and strong ability to consider, but certainly worth investing in bravery points to make that worthwhile. And then finally, Die Harder, which again does require bravery +4. So if the hero would take damage and lose a wound while benefiting from Die Hard, having already been reduced to 0 wounds previously, he makes an additional bravery check immediately. If failed, he's removed as normal. If successful, the hero immediately regains 1 wound and may continue fighting. The hero must continue to make successful bravery checks at the start of each of his phases in order to continue fighting. Failure results in him being removed as a casualty, and then if he suffers another wound from here on, additional bravery checks will be needed. Will need to be made to be able to continue fighting. So so basically you have a potentially it's an extra level of Die Hard essentially, and the way this last little bit reads here, so let's take a look at that one more time here. So again, if you fail, that bravery check you definitely removed. If you suffer further damage while benefiting from Die Harder, additional bravery checks will need to be made to be able to continue fighting. So it seems like if you lose a wound and you just pass your bravery check, you're fine. So in a way, that's almost like another armor save. Again, if that reads correctly, I'm not sure if we'll have to check the FAQ at some point just to see if they put a cap on that. Because again, if you have a bravery of +4 and maybe you picked up a couple of those reroll dice talents, theoretically, you're pretty well off not dying here. So again, if you get your bravery to +4, you're unless you roll that 1, you're looking pretty good. So this potentially, if your dice are hot, this could certainly be incredibly frustrating for the opponent, not being able to put your hero down. So, and that might be enticing enough to sort of fully run the tech tree here and get this for your hero. So especially if you also have a really durable hero armor wise. So between that and then the die harder abilities, you can have almost like a virtually unkillable hero, which again, the longer you're alive and kicking and putting out damage, the tougher it can be for your opponent to actually get a win. So that has been Natural Hero, another great tech tree to invest in. Lots of different things going on here. And again, pretty easy as far as requirements go, with only the last ability requiring bravery. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and then stay tuned for more SPQR content.